Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the continuation. Well, it's not really a continuation. Well, you may say it's a continuation of some sort of a Resident Evil marathon. But we're gonna start with a new game, viewers. It is Resident Evil Zero. A lot of people criticize this game. I do think that some of the things that people criticize are true, but the game is still fun. And yeah, join me for a playthrough of Resident Evil Zero. I'm positive that's gonna be fun. With Racer music. Damn, it's been ages since I listened to this song. Big fan of this. Viewers, I might stop momentarily, like mid-game, to make myself some tea or something to drink. I might just replace it with agua. I might just replace it with agua. Get down, everybody. Get down, everybody. What did you think of Resident Evil Remake? Have a nice day. I did talk about it. No need to be redundant about what I say, but I think I do have an exclamation point. Resident Evil tier list. Resident Evil TL. Oh yeah, I do have a tier list for Resident Evil games that I played. Did I update it with 6? No, I did not. I did not update it with 6. I might actually drop. I might actually drop Resident Evil Remake down a notch. Can see my this is my opinion of the games overall. Being Resident Evil being the best, Resident Evil Remake being the second best, but I think after this playthrough I might actually drag it down. I might actually change all of that, like even Resident Evil, like something like I went back to Resident Evil, the original, when I went back to it, especially after a fresh playthrough of Code Veronica. I thought this game was great. Like this game is really, like, for a first attempt, it's actually really good. I also like the name. The name I might actually push it up. Resident Evil 6. I might actually put it here. Like I might actually work on this tier list later. Feel free to show me your tier list, viewers, for these games. I do have to update it with 6. I still haven't updated with 6, so that's something that is going to happen. Get down, everybody. Get down, everybody. Let's close this. Let's do this. Believe it or not, viewers, yesterday I haven't eaten anything. Like I haven't eaten dinner. I did eat today. Like I ate just salad. Like it took me like 48 hours to eat something, and the thing that I ate was salad. I mean, hopefully that actually did reflect on my weight. Let me see. Did that actually do anything? Did I lose some weight for this? Actually, it didn't. If that did something, I might actually consider like eating once every 48 hours. I might actually go for that. Like I can do that. I can do that. Anywho, shut up. Have a nice day. And let's go ahead and start Resident Evil 0. Did you charge your controller? Have a nice day? Yes, I did. For change. Oh, it's loud, huh? This is loud. This might actually be really loud, viewers. This actually might be really loud. Let's try this again. Let's try this again, viewers. Right, ladies and gentlemen, Resident Evil 0. The one thing that I don't like about this particular version, by the way, viewers, is how they changed how Rebecca looks. Like, I don't know what they did to her, but they made her look, I don't know. They made her look ass. Is this footage from how she looks now, or is this footage from how she used to look? No, I think this is of how she looks of how she looks right now. What the hell? My controller is not working for some reason. Oh, I know why. I know why. I know why. I know why. I know why, and I am going to fix it. All right. You know, criticize the game as much as you want. They don't really make these kind of games anymore. Sadly. Which is a shame. I haven't done anything, by the way, of you. I just started the game first just to try and set up things. Let me go with normal. I'm gonna make it original, white. And yeah.
A Midwestern town in America, Raccoon City. A solitary island far off in the sea, Rockfort Island. An island that would become the second Raccoon City, Sheena Island. There are still many unanswered questions about these
Okay.
related yet intensely.
Sheena doesn't really sound
Though it is believed that the
like a country in America.
umbrella was somehow involved. Little is known as to the origin of this faceless corporation. When was it established? By whom? And how was the T-Virus created? To uncover the truth, we must delve deeper into the events which transpired in the beginning, before the Mansion incident.
Do you think so too?
Yeah.
Rich people. Rich people. They don't care about you and me. This definitely looks like something rich people would eat. That is not an aphrodisiac, I guess. Starts. 2 hours later, above Raccoon Forest.
A simple investigation of some bizarre murders in the suburbs of Raccoon City.
Oh, this is Enrico. Is that voice Enrico?
Preparing us for the nightmare that ensued. We never stood a chance.
What's going on? Engine failure. Emergency landing.
The current position and investigate the surrounding area.
Captain, look!
That's Enrico.
Captain!
What happened?
Ew.
Court order for transportation. Prisoner Billy Cohen.
Ex-lieutenant.
6 years old. Court-martialed and sentenced to death July 22nd. Prisoners to be transferred to the Regathon base for execution.
Those poor soldiers. They were good men just doing their jobs, and that scum murdered them and escaped.
All right, everyone, let's separate and
How would
survey
you
the
know?
area. Our friend is brutal and ruthless. Keep your guard up.
How old is Rebecca, by the way? I mean, I'm pretty sure that she's in her 20s or something, even though she doesn't look like it. Ecliptic Express. Wonder if these numbers mean anything. Oh. The door to safety is shut. There is no turning back. That's how this game begins, viewers. Uh. So L2. I don't have the ability to access my menu. No, never mind. Was it square? It's square. I'm not a big fan of these controls. And I don't have the ability to change them. Oh god. I am not a big fan of these controls. Why is it square? Examine. What's in this? It's a tool used to mix and prepare medicine. I forgot how you use this. There is a mod. Oh, it's a circle to run. There is a mod that allows you to have some sort of an item box, a storage box. Which is a cool idea, but we're not gonna do, you know, we're not gonna use as least for this playthrough. Luggage lies strewn about in the cabin. The seats are stained red with blood. She already knows that this one is locked. Door to the dining car is locked. You can't go in. Why is she wearing a choker? Okay, R1 to aim. I don't think there's anything that we can actually check. Is that a shoe or is that someone's leg? I think it's just a shoe.
This is Officer Chambers from STARS Bravo team. Please identify yourself. Is someone there?
The government. Oh, more zombies? What, shoot? Is he dead? Why did he not take as much of damage? No more knives, by the way, viewers.
What just happened? I thought they were dead.
I don't know. This is the first time that I've seen these creatures. I've never played this game before. Never played the Resident Evil series. Ever. Period. Damn, I'm already dying? You cannot loot anything. What was the Resident Evil game that allowed you to loot stuff from zombies? I don't think any of them actually allowed that. There's a second floor. This is a really fancy train, holy. There's an herb. And you can use it immediately. I think that's the game that no, I think Code Veronica introduced that as well. They look like some kind of eggs. A puddle of slime has formed around them. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to go through there. Bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. There's an antique style phone. The line has been cut, rendering it useless. I mean, not gonna be able to ring anyone. Well, I guess you can ring people from inside the... Oh shit, there's more of these guys. I think they died from 5 shots. Why can I... Oh, okay. I don't think you need to worry about ammo in this game. The rain outside is quickly turning into a downpour. Meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. What's in here? Passenger's diary, July 14th. Order came from the boss today. Looking like we're in charge of investigating the remains of the Arklay Mountains laboratory. We're moving in 2 groups. The initial group is assigned to start checking what's left of the abandoned experiment. July 16th. Unfortunately, the test production of BOW Type Y139 had to be suspended because of this investigation. It's the same with Type Y139. There's still so much we don't know about responses to the Crustacean what? And why? What are they comparing it to? It's the same type. There's a lot of interesting research left. Depending on the species and nurturing conditions, only minute doses of tea bring about remarkable changes in the solidity, size, multiplication of internal toxins, and brain development. If these effects can be controlled, a powerful weapon can be produced. But the sudden development of the shell results in a corresponding fragility. Certain areas become exceedingly weak. Problematically, one of these areas is the head carapace. This lab we're going to, were they're pursuing the same research, it would certainly help. There's something wrong with these lines. Yeah, of course, you know, it was made by the Japanese, but it's weird that even like this game was made like in the mid 20s. Like English problem shouldn't exist. Like there's something wrong with this with the structure of this sentence. This lab we're going to, were they pursuing the same research? It would certainly help to find data and samples that would help us in our research. June 19th. The day is finally approaching. I'm growing more anxious. The Raccoon City newspapers and TV stations are full of reports about the bizarre murders in the suburbs. It can't be the virus, can it? If it is... No, I can't think of that now. I have to concentrate on this investigation and make sure it goes smoothly. You got the passenger's diary. That's the passenger. He's not gonna need that where he's going. The poor guy must have been attacked in his sleep. His body is covered in slime. Ugh. The rain is beating fiercely against the window. You wonder how long it will last. It's finally a finely tailored suit. There's nothing in the pockets. Doesn't seem to be anything of use. Oh, okay. So I need to be careful. They didn't do the Resident Evil remake thing where if you left items, you're not gonna notice them. So all of these areas are gonna look green, even though that I have already missed a few items in there. So I need to be careful with that. Investigation orders. Stained with blood. Some sections are legible. I wanted to read that. I still need to get used to the controls. Investigation orders. 8 miles north of Raccoon City in the Arklay Mountains lies our our company's management training facility. It was shut down years. I guess, well, some of them are eligible, I guess. Now we are conducting a preliminary study into the reopening of the facilities. First investigation unit is already on site and opening the investigation. I want your team to provide support. The following orders are William Bark and blah blah blah. First investigation unit. The rest are turned and unreadable. I think I'm gonna find a lot of red herbs in this game. So this is something really interesting here, by the way, viewers. You can actually take some stuff and leave it where it is, since there is no storage box or anything, so you cannot actually store things. And the one thing that you can do is pretty much do this, which I'm gonna showcase after I read this. Okay, this is a typewriter. Did the game freeze? I think the game froze. Oh, never mind. The game did freeze a little bit. But yeah, this is the one thing that you can do. You can go to any item that you want and leave. You're gonna leave it on the ground and it's gonna stay there for the rest of the game. So there's absolutely no reason for you to pick up these some of the items, especially if you want to store them in storage room. But one big problem is if you leave them behind. If you leave them behind, there are gonna be some sections. Not gonna spoil anything. There's gonna be some sections where if you leave the area and you're not gonna be able to get back, then you lose it forever. Which you can lose very good items in this, like weapons. I'm talking about weapons, really. You should have saved. Have a nice day now. It's locked and can't be opened. Door reads conductor's office. Conductor. There's a card reader here. It looks like the door will open if you have the right card. It is locked. The train employee's corpse has been brutally torn apart. He's holding something. The train key. Billy! Yeah, look at how Rebecca looks. I don't know.
Billy.
She looks like a cheap slut.
Lieutenant Cohen.
So, you seem to know me. Been fantasizing about me, have you?
You're the prisoner that was being transferred for execution. You were with those soldiers outside.
She's Canadian? She's being voice acted by a Canadian? I forgot about that.
Your kind doesn't seem to want me around, so I'm afraid our little
Get
chat
out!
time is over.
Of my way.
Wait! You're under arrest.
No thanks.
Yeah, very intimidating, Rebecca.
Handcuffs.
I could shoot, you know.
Yeah, police brutality. Welcome to the US of A. Oh, shit. A lot of things are happening here.
Oh, what? What happened?
And Billy went and he wasn't curious about all of the sound?
You must be careful, Rebecca. The forest is full of zombies and monsters.
Zombies and monsters.
Oh, who let the dogs out? Who? Alright, let's not die. I think there's another one. Am I doing good? Yeah, I'm doing good. Eep. Aim? 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 You stupid idiot! She's not even aiming at the dog. This sucker's gonna kill me. This sucker's about to kill me, dude. Reload. We can examine this, of course. There's something written on the tag. Dining car. Aha. So we can actually head back. Yeah, no crimson heads in this game, viewers. Thank God. Edward, we were so happy just a few hours ago. He's holding something. The body has bite marks all over it. I forgot if he is actually gonna turn on us. This is not the correct path. Let's backtrack.
This is Rebecca.
Mushy mushy?
Over.
Is this voice Rico's?
Enrico! Hello! Can you read me? Please respond.
Rebecca, I can hear you. Now listen up. We've obtained detailed information.
My God, she looks.
A document found in the wrecked
She looks like a cheap whore.
killed as many as 23 people. Over.
She looks like she'll suck you off for a 20.
Also confirmed that he was institutionalized. So keep your guard up. Can you hear me, Rebecca? Over. Stay alert, Rebecca. He wouldn't think twice before killing you.
Enrico! Captain! Hello? Hello!
Very important question, viewers. Was this voice Rico's? Okay, stop it. Have a nice day. It's not fun anymore. You ruined the joke. Why is this area colored differently? Is it? Okay, is it implying that I'm missing something here? It's not dead. It is locked. You haven't finished searching the train yet. But that one's open. Use the dining car key. You don't seem to need this key anymore. Throw it away. These these sound effects are funny. Where
Dangers from here on in.
where were
Why don't we
you?
cooperate?
Cooperate with you?
Cooperate with you?
Haven't noticed there's some pretty freaked out things on this train. And I, for one, want to get out of here. I don't think we stand a chance doing it alone.
You expect me to trust you, a wanted felon? I don't need your help. I can handle this on my own. And don't call me little girl.
Yeah, I don't think he called you a little girl though.
What should I call you?
The name is Rebecca Chambers, but that's Officer Chambers to you.
Wow.
Well then, Rebecca, why don't you go and try while I wait here?
This game has a lot of corn, by the way, viewers.
Well then, Rebecca, why don't you go and try while I wait here?
Why don't you go try?
Well then,
Okay, I get it.
why don't
I get
you
it.
go
Notice to supervisors. When closing the dining car, supervisors are asked to switch off the automatic doors after ensuring all staff have vacated the car. The main automatic door power switch is located on the roof of the fifth car. Which is... And ours are numbered what? Inspection will take place when the train is garaged. After inspections are complete, use the ladder at the rear of the second floor of the dining car. Dude! All that labor work just to do all of that? Umbrella Corp Maintenance Department. This one is owned by Umbrella? This train is owned by Umbrella? Okay. Very interesting. My stomach hurt. Staff only. Of course, this door is locked. Looks like an automatic door. There's no power now, so it's too on to open. How? Everything is lit up. It's lit, fam. The counter is littered with slips of paper listings. Paper listing customers' orders. Cannot steal the cash money. And this door is locked. It's locked from the other side. Another cutscene. If I remember correctly, you don't need to fight this guy. You just run.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
Damn, brutal. And Billy hearing all these screams. Ugh. I'm out. Oh, he did save me, I guess. He heard my screams. There! Action! And people think this game sucks. Well, maybe.
You okay?
She's a big fan of the thumbs up. Who is making all this noise? I'm trying to sleep here. Oh.
Who is that guy?
What's going on? Who's controlling the train?
Go and check out the first engine car. Listen, we gotta cooperate with each other from now on. You got that?
You got that?
Well, I don't...
Clue in, girl. Or maybe you like being worm bait.
All right. But you just remember, I will shoot you if you try anything funny.
Oh, she's pointing at him too?
With you. If you find anything, give me a call, alright?
What's the frequency? 141.80? What's that frequency in Metal Gear? All right. Players Manual 2, Character Switching. Character switching, you can switch control between the two lead characters, Rebecca and Billy, and use their different abilities to progress through the game. What's Billy's ability? I actually kind of forgot. Lockpicking? Maybe. The character you currently control is called the main character. The character you do not control is called the partner character. Controlling the partner character generally moves independently, but you can use the right stick to control them yourself. Okay, select partner character on the status screen allows you to assign instruction to the character. Solo, both characters move independently. Team, partners follows the main character. I think at first we're actually gonna separate. Partner attacks automatically. Idle partner will not attack. You can also use select to switch back the solo and team behavior. Switching character, press Y at the status screen to switch characters. You will need to switch characters in order to progress in certain situations. Exchanging items. When your partner character is nearby, you can exchange items on the status screen. Choose the item from the main character's item box and select exchange. Character attributes. Rebecca. Rebecca has the following attributes. Can combine herb-related items. Shh. So he cannot combine shit? Okay. Weak defense, of course, because she's a woman. And can use a mixing set to combine chemicals. Billy. Billy has the following attributes. Cannot combine herb-related items. This is the ability that he cannot do that. Strong offense, can push many large objects. That's it? So she can't push anything? If the partner character is attacked, both the main and partner characters will die if they take too much damage. You should always keep an eye on their condition. A partner being attacked in a different room will call for help over the radio. If your partner does call, go to help as quickly as possible. Cooperating with your partner. Some puzzles cannot be solved by only one character. When you are stuck, try to see if using your partner will help. Right. Okay, that's pretty cool that he can control both at the same time. I'm controlling Rebecca, and Billy is the other one. But how can I switch? It's Y. Let's see what he has on him. He has a knife. I think knives are gonna be useless in this game. Oh, he has a lighter. Okay, okay. So... how can I...
I'll check it out.
Roger.
Just stay here. This is the chair where the monster was sitting. It's covered in slime. Ugh. Move, bitch. Get out the way. So... Oh, there's the ladder over there. Okay. It's over there. I just noticed it. Okay. There's a ladder here. It seems to lead up to the roof. Climb up the ladder? Yes. No need to let her follow you, by the way. Look at these visuals. I don't think he'll ever get attacked on top of a train. What's this? The power cable has been disconnected. Reconnect the cable? No. Otherwise I'm gonna get zapped. Actually, let me try it. What could go wrong? It'll just work! Ugh. I guess that'll just work. I'm gonna switch to Rebecca just so I can go back and save. Okay, he died. I thought they usually make a sound if they die. At least in this game. This place just respawn zombies all the time. Let's go ahead and drop save. Let me do this. And switch to Billy. The roof has caved in and now lies in pieces on the floor. It looks like it was destroyed by a powerful force from the outside. There's a service lift. The service lift is stopped at the first floor. Call the service lift? No need to do anything right now. Although Rebecca can actually engage later on. What's this key? I might actually send this key immediately to Rebecca. Examine. What's this? The conductor's room. So yeah, this is something that I'm gonna have to send immediately to Rebecca. Press the button. Let me go and ahead and get that key. Unless the conductor room was in the front. I think it was in the front. So I'm not gonna waste my bullets. How? I'm a dum-dum. Why did I think that I already had the key? What? I'm a dum-dum. Oh. So is this zombie. I'm a dum-dum. Ooh. Grub. The counter is laden with various types of food. There doesn't seem to be anything of use. You're not gonna remove this from here? It's locked from the other side. There's an access panel here. Need some kind of tool to open it. It's an industrial-sized refrigerator. Take the key. Now I can go back and act like I'm like I actually have a key. Oh yeah, this game actually saves the like keep the damage, keep track of the damage of the zombies. Like in the previous games, if you travel outside of an area, the damage is gonna reset, so they're gonna get healed up. Okay. Good reason for me to actually flee, when possible, really. You don't seem to need the key. Discard it. Red herb! Let's get to mixing. The fact that you cannot mix with Billy is kind of stupid. There's a map of the whole area. Took a train map. There's a switch here. Flip it. Ooh. A briefcase. Let me check on this or examine it. It appears to be locked. There are two holes. To look as if they fit some kind of a round object. Notes from conductor. The key card for the driver's compartment is in my bag as always, but I need the other guy's key too to obtain the damn thing. But it looks like I've lost it somewhere. If it was a normal key, someone would be sure to turn it in. But this key is different. I'll look for it too. But if you happen to find it, please hand it in. Thanks in advance. Okay. Note from the conductor. These appears to be documents portraying train operations. And they're scattered all over the disc on floor. There's really nothing else that we can do here other than just climb up. Oh, I thought I'm gonna have to go to the top of the train. These bottles must have fallen over when the emergency brake was activated. Today's specials, Mediterranean-style shrimp. Carpaccio roast chicken. What's carpaccio? Who said that? What the hell was that? There are no liquors in this game, by the way, viewers. Liquors are not going to get introduced until... Well, which makes sense. They're not going to get introduced until Resident Evil 2, since they are contained in Raccoon City. Makes sense. Okay. Hi. Now there's something here. An ice pick. Oh, I went to the other side. Welcome to the Eclectic Saloon. Please join us for a moment of relaxation. Wait a second. Wait a second. What are these? They look Japanese. Maybe these. This is a picture of the developers. A shotgun ammo? I want to pick this though. I can leave this here, I believe. Shotgun. That's not a hunting gun, that's a shotgun. A hunting gun. It actually takes 2 spaces too. Shotgun used for hunting. There's a design carved on the forestock. This model can only be loaded with 2 shells at a time. Are you seeing me complaining? Hell no. Other than not calling the weapon a shotgun. Why do we have a shotgun right now, viewers? We're gonna have some sort of a boss fight. Gonna have a boss fight. This is not a door, right? Okay. I'm not gonna be able to go through there. What the hell is that? A scorpion? For boss fight time, viewers. Oh, son of a bitch. I need to do something. I think I need to crack its shell or something. Maybe it's I can use the ice pick, but I don't think it's the ice pick. Okay, that's it. Gonna have to switch to the pistol now. This is a boring boss fight, by the way. But, ow! He hit me before dying? Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that this boss can actually do that. This is pretty sick. He gave me a bitch slap? Wonder if it's worth it to keep this weapon or not. What did he drop? A panel opener. Oh, okay. I guess I'm gonna have to use that. I guess I can use the ice pick to open that thing as well. Should I leave this here? Oh. Gonna have to go to the kitchen. And use this. Someone was watching from a peephole? Into the crawl space? Sure. Son of a bitch. I don't have healing item. I think they died. I don't think I'm gonna need the canister right now. Maybe I can use these on the dogs, but I don't think I'm gonna face other dogs. Like, I don't think I'm gonna face powerful enemies in this area right now. We cannot carry more weapons, of course. I'm gonna leave these here for now. I think I'm gonna need this. Are they gonna be two, or I'm just gonna need one? Examine. A finely crafted gold ring. Is it actually made of gold? Maybe it's just golden. It's golden, just like the shower I gave to your mother. Shut up, have a nice day. Shut up. Shut it. Might as well check this area. It's the release lever. Pull it. Okay, that requires 2 people. That's the idea here. So, we are going to have to switch to a different character, although door is now unlocked. Okay, that means that there's Are they they're immune? Or is this guy special? Are they immune or is this guy special? Wake up immunity? Damn, they are making these they're making these fighting games easier. Oh, you can actually use Molotov cocktail. Yeah. That's how you can use this. Now I remember. Combine, now you can use a Molotov cocktail. I forgot that you can actually use these. Yeah, they had throwable items. A rather primitive weapon capable of dealing massive damage to certain types of enemies. We're not gonna need it. Maybe the other ring is gonna be with the Billy will be able to get it. This is not where I left the is there a faster way for me to get them? I guess from here. Oh, the scorpion disappeared. It's magic. What do I need the ice pick for? Can I open it? So I guess, yeah. The rest is going to be with Billy. But before I do that, let's go ahead and drop a save. Wait, there was just a single increment? Oh. Oh, I thought I left more in here, so I guess it was just a single increment. Yeah, this is something that I talked about before, viewers. Increments are kind of their mechanics are kind of useless, really. So yeah, it was just a single increment, right? Yeah. No, there was 3. This is 3. The painting depicts a vast, windswept plain. Let's go, let's go. Let's drop another save. Yeah, let's drop in a save and let's stop it here for now, viewers. I'm not done streaming, although I gotta be honest, I am actually feeling hungry. I think I might actually want to cook something. I do have chicken ready, so I'm just gonna have to cook it. So we might actually watch something while I'm cooking something. I'm gonna play something as well while doing so. But this is it going to be for Resident Evil 0 for now. I'm gonna switch to a different game. I delete this. All of these. Might as well watch something while I do so. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So yeah, let me we switch to a game, viewers. We all can watch. Why is the game freezing from time to time? There's something about the game that allows it to freeze. You still have a problem. Like it's like I cannot even use like it froze my gaming PC altogether. I cannot even use control. Like I cannot get the taskbar, the task manager. Sorry, it's completely frozen. We'll see, maybe it's gonna fix itself. Maybe it will fix itself. About a new a chopper, by the way. Electrical chopper. So it makes things easy for me when chopping salads. But it turns them into a smoothie, which is something that I'm gonna need. I don't think I told you, the game actually froze. I cannot even... Bro, I cannot even... Am I gonna have to restart my PC? Yeah, dude, my game is my whole PC is frozen. Yeah, I don't think I told you, viewers, that I have braces now. I needed to fix something with my teeth for the longest of time, but I never had the luxury of staying stationary in one place. But since I'm gonna stay here for where I am for for maybe more than a year, I'll be able to. I will be able to, you know, have some time to actually, you know, to let someone take care of my teeth. And I found a doctor. She's really good. And yeah, hopefully things will go smooth. Like I'm gonna like I'm gonna fix the whole thing like in less than a year. Hopefully. Allow me for a bathroom break, viewers. When I come back, I'm definitely gonna have to force shut this PC because there's something wrong with it. Give me a few moments and I'll be right back. Alrighty, viewers, I'm back. PC is still frozen. I'm gonna have to look into that issue. Hopefully this is something that's not gonna happen on the regular. Hopefully. Anyhow, allow me to just get dinner ready. I am actually really hungry. I'm really hungry. Really, really, really. This piece of chicken. It's gonna taste oh so good. Yeah, I cook using an air fryer, viewers. Without the air fryer, I would, I wouldn't survive. Although I do have an oven here, so, and it's oven like it came like the apartment that I'm renting does have it, so. I might switch to Dragon Quest, by the way, viewers. I want to play a little bit of Dragon Quest. Maybe I'm gonna switch between games. One day is gonna be one day is gonna be some Resident Evil 0, and then some Bloodstained. Just switch back and forth, and maybe trying to squeeze a little bit of Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is a really good game. I miss playing RPGs like that, viewers. Did I mention that? Like, it's been ages since I played like a full-fledged RPG like Dragon Quest. Add these spices on the chicken. I'm spicing the chicken that I'm gonna have today and tomorrow. Although, I might finish all of this today. Nah. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. I think I'm running out of spice. Not really. I'm running out of paprika. That's about it. That's about it. I don't know if you guys can hear all the sludge. I'm rubbing all this chicken. Chicken thighs. No, we're not still playing Resident Evil 0. Have a nice day. It's cooking. She. So this is the chicken that I'm gonna keep for tomorrow. Into the fridge. What's that? Oh, this is what was the one of the games that I want to play, by the way, on PlayStation 3? Forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of it. I played the demo of it, and it had like a demo, a multiplayer, online multiplayer, and it was a lot of fun. It was laggy as shit though. The netcode was disastrous, but the gameplay was extremely fun. It was it was really like I had a lot of fun with that game. I was really good at it too. I was really good at it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. What was it called? I forgot. Don't worry about Whisker. He's gonna go a little bit crazy. Let me fix him. Yeah. This party's getting crazy. All right, so this is something that we were watching, by the way. It was about some sort of mods to Resident Evil. So we are going to watch these together. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Ugh. Do have grocery here that I put on the couch. Well, not grocery, just like a few things that I need to put in the cabinet. I'm just too lazy. Just too lazy. Oh, where's my earbuds? Oh, I'm gonna have to get up. Go here. And actually pick it up and all of that. You know what I'm dreading, by the way, viewers? I'm dreading that I'm gonna have to install uninstall this disk. I do have an electric disk. And if I'm gonna ship it back, I'm definitely gonna have take it with me. If I'm gonna ship it back, it's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna take a lot of time for me to do all of that. Can you guys hear anything? I mean, there should be. Let me try and fix this.
Out of 10.
Ah, hello. Was it you who rang the bell of awakening?
This voice is recognizable. Who was that?
Round about 5 years ago, I talked about Resident Evil's infamous Game Boy Color adaptation, an attempt by HotGen Studios at porting the RE1 experience to Nintendo's popular handheld. The TLDR there is that Capcom let a British developer take a crack at a GBC port of Resident Evil.
What did
1.
they
As you
port
might
though? The
expect,
remake?
team ran into a series
Or
of
the
troubles
original game?
shrinking a kind of sort of PS1 game down to a 2D platform, orders of magnitude less powerful. After a number of delays, Capcom...
Yeah, this looks like it's actually PlayStation 1 Resident Evil.
Resident Evil Gaiden. And while it does make sense from a business perspective to go with a game made from the ground up for the intended platform, I think we really missed out on something special. Now luckily, we do have access to 2 different builds of that port, one of them sitting at about 90% complete, so we have at least an idea.
Did we really miss out on something special?
Want something a little more tangible? There's the Game Boy Color conversion mod by Lazy Boy, and it might be one of the most interesting RE mods I've
That's
ever
Barry?
come across. What we
Sure.
have here is a full conversion that makes the Resident Evil that we all know and love look and sound something like a Game Boy Color title, which it does impressively well. Before we get into the game though, the install process is about as easy as it gets, with the only hang-up being that it requires an additional mod
I'm not
Cross
impressed.
Rebirth to be installed in order to work. To be totally honest though, if you're playing RE1 on PC, you should be using CR anyway, so I wouldn't call that a downside. Once you have the conversion downloaded, it's a simple matter of just dragging the compressed contents over.
Damn,
to
this guy
RE1
likes Metal Gear Solid 4.
and disabling texture filtering in the classic Rebirth config screen and selecting the mod from the drop-down list. Oh, and definitely make sure to also download the mod's separate FMV pack to get a similar GBC conversion for the game's cutscenes. Trust me, it is well worth it. After that, you're good
Joseph?
to go. All that's left is to
Joseph!
enjoy one of the best games ever made, but with a
They didn't bring
shiny,
Joseph back in the
big
remake.
handheld makeover. And I really can't overstate how cool.
Maybe
this
he
is.
died in the cutscene. I
The
actually forgot.
backdrops have all been converted into something you might conceivably see running on a Game Boy Color, and the 3D stuff uses textures that really sells the idea that these things are actually just 2D flat objects. Then of course there's the 8-bit conversion for all the sound work, which is so damn awesome when you hear it in action. Sadly, all of the game's, I guess you could call it quirky voice dialogue, has been removed to keep with the theoretical limitations of the platform being emulated, which I'm 100% okay with, but all of this stuff just makes for one of the most fun playthroughs I've had of this game since that first time putting it in my PS1 as a 13-year-old. I mean, when I booted this stay up, I was just supposed to grab a bit of footage to make this section of the video, but I ended up playing all the way to the end twice. And then once on stream. So fucking cool. Wait for it.
Super chat.
Yes.
I need one of these.
Yes, dude. It's so sick. I just kept wanting to see how each new location would look with the 8-bit paint job, or how they would handle the next FMV. And the good news is I can personally confirm that this mod is applied to the entire game. Every single bit of RE1 has been pushed through the filter of late 90s handheld technology, which is a lot more than the actual GBC version of the game was supposed to do. It was a genuine and honest blast running through the game and pretending I was seeing all of this in between passing streetlights through the non-backlit screen of a Game Boy Color on some family vacation as a kid. And you guys know.
Let's move on. Oh shit, that's a beat 'em up?
Consider all of the random possibilities that you might have with a Resident Evil fan game. I'm gonna
What the
assume
hell?
The beat 'em up genre isn't the first or even the 25th thing that pops into your head, which is exactly why I was really intrigued by the Crisis Evil games, a series of fan-made projects running in the Beats of Rage engine, something you could definitely call the RPG Maker or Mugen of the DIY beat 'em up scene. It's an awesome little utility that's resulted in
Okay,
some of the
this is
most
pretty
interesting
cool.
homebrew I've ever messed around with. And really, BOR games could easily fill its own dedicated long-form video, but for the moment, that's not what we're here for.
Okay, this is cool.
Crisis Evil is a series of brawlers, and to be honest, I've seen them credited to Hardim and Dimitri, but I've seen other credits elsewhere, so apologies if that's not correct. When I initially did a bit of research
Dimitri!
into these fan games, the first and the third ones seemed like the obvious choices. I mean, big, bright, colorful sprites, lots of animations, most of them ripped from MVC2. Chef's kiss, no comment, I'm already sold. But when I laid my eyes on part 2, I knew that was the one I really wanted to put some time into. And if you're looking at the screen right now, hopefully you can already tell why. Crisis Evil 2 is a little like Donkey Kong Country on the SNES, in the sense that its sprites are actually just 2D renders of Resident Evil's original 3D assets, which makes for a very, very, really awesomely cool look in motion. So obviously, it was the visuals that got my foot in the door, but after starting up a game, the ingenuity...
Look
and
at the
effort,
blood.
That's what really wowed me. Sticking with the source material, you've got two
What about the
campaigns
bullets?
on hand, Leon and Claire. And like the actual RE2 on PS1, my instinct was to go with Leon first. I have no idea why I do it, I always do. When I started the game, I was met with his scenario's full intro FMV, along with what I would call a surprisingly faithful progression through the actual events of the game. And we're not exactly talking a compressed Cliff Notes version either. Now, I didn't make it all the way through his story because I wanted to try out Claire in the multiplayer, but when I stopped recording, I was sitting at about 2.5 hours of playtime. As far as I can tell, every major story beat and location is included in some sort of way, and the lengths that these people went to in order to get this stuff all to fit into a 2D brawler is mind-blowing. They even require you to collect key items and backtrack in order to progress sometimes. Just a wild level of dedication for a project that no one would have expected to stay true to the source material anyways. I do have to admit though, when it comes to the actual moment-to-moment gameplay, at least at the start I was feeling less than enthusiastic. Moving around feels okay enough, with a fairly speedy walking pace and a run that you can activate by double tapping left or right. A feature that I always love seeing in these types of games. It's sort of like a double jump in a Metroidvania, I need it to be there. The rest of the face buttons are basically all used for attacks. There's the knife button, which is your standard attack, a shoulder barge, which is way more handy than you might think, a button that pulls out your gun if you have ammo, and one dedicated to stomping on grounded enemies and putting down items like ammo or special weapons. Now, like I said, I didn't have the best experience out of the box, and in my defense, the game doesn't go out of its way to explain itself, so I imagine a lot of people may have had the same issue. As I continued to play though, struggling and getting frustrated with mechanics that felt more than a little cheap, I started to figure out what this game was really working with, and I sort of fell in love with it. Alright, so the worst offender on my list of initial grievances that were eventually proved wrong was that even on the first screen, zombies could basically stunlock you to death with general ease. At this point, it seemed like taking a single hit almost guaranteed that I'd be stuck in a cycle of eating damage till I lost a life and got to reset my position. But then I discovered that doing a shoulder barge would actually break an enemy grab and allow me to either continue my combo or get a little distance on the enemy. And you know, this sort of revolutionized the game for me. After figuring that out, I was kicking ass and taking names, no issues. Which is when I noticed this next point. Enemies in this game can take an absolute shit ton of damage. So instead of planting your feet and trading blows, it's often a better idea to get your hits in at a reasonable distance and then move around to bait the enemy to come to you so you could do it all over again. Which, you know what, actually, hold on. Let me put on my dork-ass video essayist hat. I found this feature to be a staggeringly deep inclusion, which mirrors Resident Evil's own mechanical reliance on spacing and timing. Realizing this, I paused the interactive experience on my screen and I noticed a slight chill on my face. The kind of chill that could only come from a single, lonely tear running down my cheek. My God, I thought, these developers have looked straight into my soul. And it looked back. After that little roadblock was cleared though, I struggled hitting zombies on the ground and the crows or the roaches in the air. In the case of the former, you do have the dedicated stomp, but this move has a really short range and the zombies on the ground are even more grab happy than their walking counterparts. So that scenario always seemed to result in me taking what felt like cheap damage. Then I realized that I could double tap up or down to get high or low knife strikes, which solved that issue handily. And on an even cooler note, the low stabs caused a bit of stagger on standing bad guys. After learning these lessons, I was having a nearly non-stop blast. Walking through familiar RE2 environments, fist-fighting BOWs, watching cutscenes as if I were playing the legit game, it was fun as all hell. For those first 20 or so minutes, things felt very bland and sort of static as I would approach every single combat scenario with the standard knife swipe and maybe a dash attack. But after I figured out that every single offensive button has a place in just about every scenario, the gameplay experience became miles more dynamic and way more engaging. All of your combat options aren't going to combo into each other like a fighting game, but they synergize nicely, and once you start using all of them together, you'll find a really entertaining brawler here. But at the risk of invalidating all of that, during Leon's campaign, you get to take control of Ada for a fairly good chunk of time, and I sort of feel like this section is where I had the most fun. Basically, everything I just described is still a factor here, but there are two main differences. A, the always classy Mrs. Wong has infinite ammo for her pistol, and B, the playfield has been shortened vertically, which in my opinion puts the full potential of this game's combat on display much better than Leon's section does. These two additional factors leads to a nice focus on mobility, as the lessened vertical real estate means enemies are always a little closer to you than they were before, and Ada's gun isn't exactly a powerhouse of a sidearm. So moving around, getting in a few gunshots or knife strikes, and then delivering a hard knockdown to start the process over again feels a little more satisfying, and you end up having to do it a little more often. If you ask me, it's the perfect combination of all of its mechanical elements just banging on all cylinders. I mean, truly the most enjoyable section and an already really fun game. I do, however, have a few complaints that persisted even after I learned how to play the game and got to experience Ada's kick-ass gun-based combat. To be fair, some of them are the kinds of issues that are common to retro beat-em-up games and not really all that big of a deal. Stuff like a reliance on cheap enemy tactics that keep you locked in a damage cycle until you die, or not being able to hold on to a weapon to save your life. However, a few of my issues cross well over into the realm of really damn annoying. For example, I can forgive not having some sort of a juggle system. I mean, I would love to be able to keep enemies in the air with attacks, but I can live without that. But damn, would it be really, really nice to be able to do some sort of damage to bad guys once they've hit the floor. Now, you do have the downward strike that I talked about before, but that only damages enemies that are crawling around on the floor. Once you've knocked a zombie down with a full combo, you can't hurt them until they go through the fairly long process of getting back up again, which, feels like something that could have easily been fixed. I also don't understand why both Leon and Claire have this really simplistic 3-hit combo where the same exact animation is used for all 3 strikes. I mean, listen, it would be fairly easy to just accept this as the best that the developers could do, but in some areas you get to play as a variant of Leon that actually has a proper combo. And to add insult to injury, once you make it past the sewer section, he just magically gains this really cool 5-hit chain that would have made the beginning parts of the game way more fun. I do want to be fair, these are comparatively small gripes. They're just stuff that offer a bit of resistance to the wild amount of fun you can have with the game, but they definitely don't overpower it. That being said, this next issue I really can't say that for. After having an awesome time with the single player, I was genuinely stoked to get my wife in the room for a little 2-player action. Which, I swear to God, is not the sexual innuendo that it sounds like when I say it out loud. You know what? Never mind. I changed my mind. It 100% is that, and I am actually really funny on purpose. Anyways, the point is, we started the game, jumped in a Claire scenario, and it was incredibly disappointing. I was able to forgive our characters not having different outfits or colors, although it did cause a bit of confusion the entire time, but far worse than that was the game's difficulty. I did imagine that the challenge would scale up a bit. I mean, we could potentially deliver twice the damage in roughly the same amount of time using 2 characters, but things became so damn hard that a lot of the fun disappeared behind it. Zombies were taking way more time to put down, and when they turned into these red guys, which I'm gonna assume is some kind of a Crimson Head, it was a nightmare actually killing them. They have way more health, they hit harder, and they grab you more often. All of the problems I talked about before came into way harder focus now that the bad guys were taking 3 times as long to defeat and doing way more damage. Which really sucks because when you play a game like this, the expectation is that multiplayer is where the best experience is to be had. But in this case, it actively makes the game worse to play. On the plus side though, the single player is a whole 5-gallon drum of awesome, and if anything warrants a playthrough just to see a beat 'em up recreate nearly every moment from RE2. If you can't tell already, Resident Evil Survive is another open Beats of Rage beat 'em up. Created by Chris Monville, this fan game gets almost everything right in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the hell out of Crisis Evil 2, but while I was playing it, it sort of felt like there was a theoretical ceiling to the fun I was having, and I knew somebody could push past that. To give a bit of context, I definitely grew up during the golden era of scrolling beat-em-ups. The titles that put the genre on the map, like Streets of Rage and Final Fight, were in nearly constant rotation at my house. So I do have an appreciation for those classics, but for me, personally, these types of games really peaked more towards the tail end of the 90s when more fighting game style mechanics started to make their way in. You know, stuff like being able to juggle enemies in the air, OTG attacks, and a focus on faster, flashier combat. This is the era that I really connected with, and Resident Evil Survive is a damn near perfect distillation of everything that made that the case. When you start the game, you're given a nice little interactive tutorial where you can learn like 90% of Survive's mechanics, which is something that the previous title really would have benefited from. The basic rundown is that you have 5 attack options: a normal combo, a weapon-based attack on button 3, a long-range attack with your sidearm, a more powerful shot that uses an even bigger, therefore cooler gun, and a special attack that drains your HP but delivers a hard knockdown to everything it hits. Your gun attacks work on a meter underneath your life bar that can be refilled with ammo pickups, and this actually plays into what makes the game so damn fast-paced and fun. You're almost always being given healing items and ammo from the environment or downed enemies, which encourages a more balls-to-the-wall approach to combat. Because you can almost always count on getting your resources refilled, you're more likely to use life-draining specials or capping off an awesome combo with your more powerful guns. It's like the game is constantly rewarding you for playing recklessly, putting your ammo and health in constant flux to extend combos or get in extra damage. And adding on top of this is what I guess you could call the game's physics. The BOWs that you're going to come up against can take a ton of damage before getting knocked down, so you have a few options that'll launch them into the air, either for a sick-ass air juggle or just so you can get a little breathing room. Once they do end up airborne, they can easily be kept that way with well-timed attacks and good mobility. And even once they hit the ground, you still have a fraction of a second where they can still be damaged or even launched up into the air again. This is where the fighting game influence starts showing its head as I start theory crafting exactly which attacks can be performed in a certain step in a combo to ensure that I can keep as many enemies as possible stuck in an endless barrage of attacks. My favorite strategy was to string together 3 or so dash attacks, making sure to catch them just as they hit the floor, then comboing into a special which would relaunch them and ending with a more powerful gun attack at just the right time so they fall right into it. It's a pretty special feeling hitting like 10 bad guys with a massive combo and then knocking them up into the air and keeping them that way for what feels like minutes. And it definitely helps that the game has so many different characters to choose from. Of course, all the mainstays are represented, but you've also got a nice selection of what you could call the less used entries in the RE roster. Surprisingly enough, the only one I didn't enjoy playing with was Wesker. His moves are dope as hell, but a lot of them push him away from enemies, making combos a lot harder to pull off. Especially when you're near the edge of the screen, which is like 75% of the playtime. At the end of each level, you can use RE4's Merchant to refill your life and ammo, but since this doesn't cost anything, it sort of feels like it could have been handled automatically in the background instead of making me drag a giant Windows cursor around for a few seconds. I mean, the game has no point economy, and there's never really a situation where you'd want to start a level with less life or ammo, so I'm lost on what the point was here. And I'm very happy to report that one of my biggest complaints with the previous RE Brawler is nowhere to be found here. 2-player mode in Resident Evil Survive is an absolute blast, and the frenetic nature of the combat mechanics makes it really easy for you to pull off some cool-ass tandem shit. One of the best feelings in the world was when me and my wife would accidentally end up in a situation where we're playing volleyball with some poor zombie as they bounce from one side of the screen to the other. And the difficulty feels perfectly tuned for the added amount of firepower that multiplayer brings, staying pretty well within that tough-to-reach middle ground of challenging but not frustrating. In terms of the presentation, there's a nice bit of talent on display here. Of course, a big chunk of the sprites are ripped from Jill's inclusion in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and coming from a guy that mained her, Ruby Heart, and Rogue in that game, I'm supremely appreciative of this. That being said though, there's a good amount of impressive new, or I guess maybe altered assets might be a better word. The Chimeras and Hunters stand out as being particularly well drawn, and while the playable characters can be sort of hit or miss sometimes, almost everyone looks great. I mean, sure, you can tell that everything here has been modified from some other game's sprites, but I mean, that doesn't bother me at all. I feel like it shouldn't bother you either. And hey, shout out to Forrest, just Naruto running across the screen and blowing himself up when you fully drain his HP. A nice little RE1 remake reference that I can definitely get down with. Really and truly, the only complaint that I have with Survive is that it can be a little short. I mean, it's great seeing these little sprite art recreations of the Spencer Mansion, but progression through these areas is a bit stilted. You're basically going to be sitting on the same screen. for an extended period
Viewers,
of time while the
apologies.
game dumps hordes
I
of
got a
bad
phone
guys
call
on you.
just
So
now.
The actual size of each level is only a few screens wide.
How
but
much
you're gonna be
this
moving
phone
through those
call got me?
screens like a slug through molasses. What would be
Yes,
really amazing is if we could
16
somehow
minutes,
combine
exactly.
both this
Exactly
and
16 minutes.
Resident Evil 2.
Apologies,
It
viewers.
would take
There was a
seasons
phone
of
call,
runtime
like a
and
work phone call. I was trying to find
locations,
like some
building a wonder
people,
what survives
contract
flashy
some
blood
people and
matching
whatnot. So
combat.
it was an important phone call, so
Theoretical game here.
I couldn't
Go ahead
delay
and
it. So
throw in
this was
Crisis
a
Echoes
good
3
opportunity that I
and
managed to talk to these guys. Most of the people that I talk to are like engineers, master's degrees, like doctorates, professors. This is the reason why I'm gonna have to, give them the focus that they want, and they seem to be the guys that we want them to work with us. So it's gonna be good. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to talk about the financial details, like how are they gonna cost us? Because we're gonna hire them to do something, and they seem to be pretty good so far.
A little wild, but also a little
So yeah,
recognizable.
is that
You
Lisa?
really couldn't go wrong with either of these BOR projects.
Is that
Because
Lisa?
When you really think about it, deep down, I think we've all at some point wanted to see Leon uppercut a zombie into the air, only to blast him in half with a shotgun as they
This
fall
is pretty
back to
cool.
the earth. Because there's no way it's just me thinking that.
He actually looks cool. Yeah, this game looks cool. Oh my goodness, what the hell is this? What is this? People tried.
No wounds. Better write this in my diary.
People tried to remake 3.5.
5 Code Madman by Shigu Works might require a bit of a perfunctory explanation. For those of you who are lucky enough to not be so old that the reality of needing a rectal exam is no longer a far-off concept, Resident Evil 4 went through a few different phases during development. The very first time many of us would get a look at what sort of title it was shaping up to be, the game was in a very different form than what would eventually hit store shelves. In fact, a lot like Resident Evil 2, the fourth entry in Capcom's survival horror series reached
I wish we
a
got this
complete,
game.
but not exactly incomplete sort of level as a totally different game, only to have its development restarted. Unlike RE2 though, we never actually got our hands on that prototype build. But that didn't stop Shigu Works from studying the gameplay trailer and using Unity plus a few tastefully borrowed assets to create something that might be the
Tastefully
closest thing
borrowed?
we may ever
I
have
mean,
to
give
Resident
them
Evil
s-
3.5.
Give them a break, dude. What do you mean tastefully? These guys are working for free. They should borrow whatever they want.
Starting up Code Madman, we're dropped into a spooky mansion type of location, which is going to sound crazy, but I would say is a pretty novel and unique location to set a Resident Evil game in. As I walked around, a few things became clear, but chief among them is that this is without a doubt the coolest version of Leon we've ever seen. My guy looks like instead of special forces, he got assigned to
Would
the
have
first
loved
division
if,
of the
this
Titan
was,
Brigade. Outside of that,
like
though,
had
the
isometric
coolest thing
view,
going
though.
on here is the mix of perspectives and the controls used to navigate them. Now, I'll admit that it took me a bit of time to acclimate to things, but once I got there, this was one hell of an immersive system. The basic idea is that the camera isn't tied to your character's movement, so you could be looking in one direction but moving in another. However, once you hit the run button, the camera swings around to a more traditional RE4 type of perspective, if not pulled back just a little further. On top of that, and you know I'm gonna love this one, there are sections with a fixed camera and some that'll have the player being followed by the camera on a set track. Honestly,
I'm not
it's an amazing
a big fan of the
combination
zoom
old and
that's
new.
happening here.
Best of
The
both
zoom in and
worlds
zoom
in
out.
this scenario. When you hit the aim button, you'll get the type of over-the-shoulder view that an RE4 fan would be looking for, which is nice because that's genuinely a great way to handle third-person shooting. But as you explore, the developer has free reign of how you see the game, and each section of this castle or mansion feels orders of magnitude more atmospheric than any location that the actual RE4 has ever offered. Or at least to me it does. I will say, though, the aiming is a bit finicky, and the one and only enemy that you come across in the demo can basically dodge every bullet you fire at it like some sort of agent from the Matrix just through the sheer act of its wobbly walk cycle.
Sounds like
Most of
a
this
skill
quick
issue.
review of what could have been is spent wandering through a creepy set of
Like, can't you shoot him in the knee? Like, this is Resident Evil 4.
which actually does stay in line with a portion of what the trailers were showing off at the time. Now, personally, and I don't think I'm going to surprise anybody here, but I've never liked the idea of taking Resident Evil into the realm of ghosts and possessed dolls. But after walking through a few of these sections, I could see that actually working. Maybe not in a Resident Evil game, but I would play something like this no problem. As you play this thing, you really can't deny how dark and eerie it can be. It's a combination of the sound, controls, camera system, and weird stuff going on around Leon. And all of those elements feel like they were implemented by someone who really understood how to balance each one to better fit the others. I mean, yeah, this person was using the available trailers as inspiration, but it takes a hell of a lot of talent to translate something you've only ever seen into an interactive experience. Honestly, I started Code Madman up specifically to get a similar feeling to what I had with RE1.5's playable build. That being a small window into the development of a game that never actually came out. But I ended up with something completely different. Instead of getting to play what could have been, I was left wondering why the hell we don't already have a game that controls and
I'm already like noticing the mystique that's missing
grounded horror guy, but
from here, by the way.
any game coming out
Like, the
that
castle
plays and
seems,
looks like this demo would be incredible
empty.
in my eyes. Once you get the controls down,
Like, in the sense of, it's not, it's not lavish. It's not like how the areas in Resident Evil 4 are designed.
Together. I certainly wouldn't have thought that would be the case before getting to see them in action, but
You can see it like you can see like there's something there's something missing. There's something off.
Might be a little more than the sum of its parts.
Missing a lot of details.
I'm begging you here, if you have anything to do with making video games, put together a proper survival horror game using this exact assortment of mechanics. Like now.
A fog.
Fuck. Resident Evil Crossfire. Oh, this is the... This is an on-rail shooter?
Resident Evil Crossfire is a fan game set in the RE universe created by 3Do in 2016.
Oh, shit.
Usually when you hear all of those words in the same sentence, you tend to unconsciously form a bit of a pre-concluded expectation. Because
What's
let's
with
face
the
it,
shadows?
vast majority of Resident Evil fan games are either modifications of existing RE titles or low-effort source engine projects. And I've got some good news for you. Not only is Crossfire neither of those things, but it's also surprisingly impressive. The starting text crawl lets us know that it's set in 1998, presumably after the whole Raccoon City debacle, and concerns a higher-up at Umbrella.
They call this 0 because it's 0 out of 10.
In the spirit of making a clean getaway from
How's
the
it going,
virus,
Level?
this person
Welcome to the
releases
stream.
Just a bit of the T-virus in a city called Ashport, which I
Are
gotta
you
say
proud
is
of this
pretty non-brainer
joke?
for the franchise.
Are we really
Even
proud of
Umbrella
it?
has historically treated viruses that can mutate the human genome like a well-prepared
It's not
sandwich in a
as
company
bad as
break
people
room
think it
fridge,
is.
and most of the people who work there are evil enough to want something like that, but not smart enough to not cause a massive zombie outbreak when getting
Maybe
it.
I'm looking at it as a rose tinted glass. Maybe like nostalgia. Well, I'm not. I don't feel nostalgic for that game.
Given the illusion of choice with two possible characters to play as, but
Paul
one is
Cruz?
available, and given the year this thing was initially released, I'd say
Clark
wasting
Carter?
content would be a poor use of your time. But hey, that's perfectly fine because, like I said before,
You just woke
there's
up?
a lot more in this fan game than you might initially expect. In terms of gameplay, minus
Where do you
like, two
live?
elements, this is just about
You
as
probably live
realistic as
in,
it
I don't
gets.
know.
It's got inventory management, item boxes.
You probably live in,
NPCs, accurate enemy
USA,
behavior
West
and
Coast.
combat, puzzles, cutscenes,
Earth?
files to read, and proper survival horror
You,
backtracking.
maybe you're
This is
French
a
Canadian.
single
Well, that
person
actually
made
explains
by
the
which
accent,
is
actually.
impressive as hell for a game made by a single person.
That
and
explains
one
the
I've
accent.
Literally never heard of before. Your main character, Paul, is a member.
Look, I managed to figure out where you live, but you still think I live in Iran.
So obviously that thing has crashed harder than me thinking I can supplement a lack of good sleeping habits by consuming my own weight in caffeine every day. Since they're stuck in
Iran?
the outbreak zone, he and his CO are now in the business of exploring a zombie-infested city, looking for a possible exit.
I mean, there are people that thought that I was
A
Russian.
little overused setup for an RE game. But hey, old tricks are often the best tricks, and there's a really good reason for that. The city of Ashport feels a bit like a
I'm not in
mix of
Canada?
Raccoon City and the version
You
of the
said
same
that you're
place
not in
shows up
Canada,
in
but you
first
didn't say
person
that you're not
Outbreak
French
5.
Canadian.
Lots of outdoor areas where you can get an eyeful of a metropolis that was very recently over.
You are the brownest Russian?
And interior locations that look like the series' common everyday storefront or church.
True.
Just turned into humanity's last stand. Progression, hunting for items, backtracking across the environment, and puzzle solving all feel
I do
very
like
accurate
potatoes.
to what you'd likely encounter in an early Resident Evil game. It's not
I'm not
exactly
eating a lot of
something that
potatoes though,
can
because,
be
you know, I'm
itemized
trying
for
to cut
you,
off
but
carbs.
You gotta trust me when I say that the vibe of a legit late 90s Capcom survival horror game is well pulled off here in Crossfire. Speaking of which, as you roam around, you'll come across a rogues gallery of series combatants featuring the obvious Walking Dead, Cerberus, and Lickers. Crossing paths with these BOWs and spraying them with
Cerberus? Just call them dogs.
perfume.
You
feels about on
nerd.
par with the series tradition
Cerberus.
as well, with a big focus on spacing and, when possible, avoidance. Which
As long as you can
leads me to one of the
crack some
game's
heads
most
open.
features. As I played Crossfire, I just never got to a point where I stopped struggling with the controls. Now obviously, we're dealing with the preferred tank controls method here, but the game's developer seems to have run into some issues with recreating that very recognizable RE style of the mechanic in his fan game. Now, if anybody knows this, it's
Why does this guy look
People
like
often
Chris?
complain that this style of control can be very stiff and tough to adapt to, which I of course have always argued against. Except in this case. Moving around just feels sluggish and unresponsive. As I pivoted with the left and right directions though, I think I might have figured out what the problem is, and as usual with this channel, it's a little hard to explain verbally, so here goes a poor attempt at doing it anyways. Essentially, there's an animation of Paul taking steps while he's turning in circles, and the startup time for this to kick in is just a hair too slow. On top of that, this animation makes it a little hard.
We need to
tell
rename
when
Indy
exactly
into
where
Thief?
his toes are pointed, so you can't really gauge a precise heading just by looking at
Indie developer and thief
You're
developer?
really only able to get a rough idea of where
I
he's
am
pointed while this
absolutely
animation
fine
plays
with the
out.
fact that
These two
indie
factors
gay
combined
indie
makes it really
developers
hard to achieve
steal
some level of
ideas.
fluidity when controlling the game. Plus, the turn speed while
I mean,
running is dreadfully
am I gonna
slow,
wait
so
for
you almost
Capcom
know
to
that
make
you're stopping a lot
an
of
actual
slight
Resident Evil
adjustments
game?
to where you're headed, because you'll either be
Fuck
doing
that, they're
or
not gonna
running
do that.
into a lot of walls.
When was the
And
last like
telling
traditional
you,
Resident
I'm
Evil game that they made?
Crossfire to be relatively
What was
safe.
it? Was it Zero?
Past corners or background elements
Zero
that
was the
get
last thing. And when was Zero made? Like 2003 or 2002? No, I think it was in 2003.
It just isn't providing.
So yeah, I'm not gonna wait for fucking Capcom to make an actual Resident Evil game. Let these guys do
You
it.
can still find an awesomely familiar and fun survival horror experience here.
But I gotta be honest, a lot of people think that they
And since
understand
we're on that line of thinking,
what makes a Resident Evil game a Resident Evil game. So I think some of them, especially the ones that try to mimic them, they really do fail to actually make
These
them.
things just feel right for the franchise being emulated
Paul!
here, and outside of that, they required a nice bit of logical thinking. Honestly, this might be the one element in the game that impressed me the
It looks
most.
dumb.
In terms of its presentation, it's a mixed case of handmade assets and ones that were let's say borrowed from other titles in the series. Off the top of my head, I noticed some zombies from
Yeah.
ONR and Outbreak, doors from Code Veronica, and audio files from across the RE-verse, which for a game that's 100% free is 100% fine with me. I will say that in some areas I found that I had to proceed kind of far past the edge of the visible screen in order to trigger the next camera angle, but this seemed to only affect a few sections of the game, namely the church's graveyard.
Lots of people, FromSoft
A
included,
few small complaints
thinks they know what Demon Souls, Dark Souls
like I already mentioned, it can
is
be easy
and
to have
fail.
certain lowered expectations when playing an RE fan game, let alone one that wasn't.
For someone that is that actually is a big fan of Demon
Crossfire
Souls,
delivers an
I really
experience that feels
haven't played
totally authentic to the
a lot of
series,
Souls-like.
and in a way that still offers a few new
I
ways
wanted to
see the
play Dark
original
Souls.
style. It being a title released in
I wanted to
2016,
play Dark Souls, but I'm not gonna buy the remake. Remake, not the remake, the remaster. The remaster seems off to me. I want to play the original, and I already had the original, but I left it in my hometown because I don't live there anymore. Like maybe for now, I might come back later. If I get the chance to get back, I might actually try and grab Dark Souls. I do have the PC version, the initial PC version release and a physical release of it. So I might grab that and try and hopefully whenever I get it, I'm gonna play it, because I really do have the itch to play like something like that. Oh, I might actually emulate Demon Souls and play it on 60 FPS.
In the past, but the survival horror genre is basically just an offshoot of the point-and-click adventure with a different method for controlling your character.
What?
That's a fairly apt point to be making at this specific moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Point and click by MPH64. Now I'll go ahead and let you guys know up front that this thing is about as close to unfinished as you can get while still having the ability to boot into the game. That being said, I think this on-hold project is just proof that the idea at least can definitely work. As fans of the point-and-click genre may be expecting, you use your mouse to move Leon around Sheena Island, and there are modifiers.
Yeah, I have way too many games that I've started, so this is the reason why that I'm not gonna play this. No, I'm sorry. What the hell is this game? I don't think I want to play a Resident Evil like this. I'm sorry.
Point-and-click interaction system inside of a survival horror game.
Yeah, that defeats the. I mean, that's not gonna defeat the purpose, but that's. Like you're gonna be able to
it's messing with appear to be sound. I mean,
you're gonna be able to dodge enemies easily with a mouse like this.
It could be much smoother than.
It's gonna be easy to bait. Nah.
One of the biggest issues from
That doesn't look fun at all.
Being able to interact with things, getting the cursor to change into that exclamation point is more of an art than a science. And if there's an interactable object on top of something that could be examined, like this ink ribbon on top of a pinball machine, it's essentially a dice roll whether or not you'll pick the item up or look at the thing it's on. Annoyingly, your character model can block the cursor from being able to click on things, and the same goes for zombies.
There's a solution for that.
Close for that exclamation mark to show up, which doesn't feel great.
You make the player hold, I don't know, maybe control to try and pick up things, and alt to inspect things.
Really nice. In terms of aiming,
Or lift the click and right click.
shots properly lined up, and the zombies' reaction animations.
Nah, I don't think this will work.
Issues would be really easy to fix, but for the first one, a little laser aiming reticle type of.
What you been playing, Level?
As for the zombies being invincible,
Playing anything fun?
Maybe just slow down the gun's fire rate.
Did you
and
jump
speed up
on
the zombies' animations.
Tactics?
Nice and simple. Using a Resident Evil style inventory with a mouse
Voice acting
is
in Tactics
pretty
actually
odd
is not that
for the
bad.
most part, and just like the gameplay, just
This AI voice is annoying. I don't think that's an AI
I'd say
voice.
The only thing that actually threw me for a loop was that reading files required.
I think that's how this guy sounds.
Everything else in the inventory only needs the mouse. While running around, I had a hell of a time getting screen.
AI is getting
fairly often, which
AI is
feels like
improving
easy enough
a
fix.
lot.
But the real issue was that if you don't complete a very
Like,
specific set of
I don't think-
actions in
I
very
think-
set order, the game is sort of
I think
impossible
I've
to get
started
through thanks
to
the way ammo is
having
distributed.
having a
I
hard
found that if you
time
don't follow that
distinguishing
strict
if
order of
a
exploration,
footage is
you'll come
actually
across
made
too
by
many
AI or
zombies
not,
directly in your
especially the
path,
new
which means
Sora
you're gonna have
stuff.
to shoot them. And if this
Like
happens,
some of them
essentially
are
you're
actually
having
really
ammo to
good,
make it to
like
the next
really,
item
really good.
drop. Now it goes without saying, but this
Not
is
playing
an
it anytime
incredibly
soon.
rough take on the concept, but
I haven't
it's an
streamed
idea that I think
all
can
week.
work.
Too much work.
And honestly, the Resident Evil 2 and Survivor assets look so damn good.
Damn,
at
busy?
1280 by 1024 in the
Get that
Unity
paper.
Engine. It's almost
I
worth
thought you were a
playing
full-time
just to see how
streamer, though.
great it looks. Regardless, though, there's just a ton that could be done with this.
Aren't you a
wacky
full-time
combination of
streamer?
genres if the right person with the right amount of experience were to take a crack at it. So let's hope this will inspire someone to do just that.
Nah, I don't think this game is a good idea. Ada, return to Sheena Island. Sheena Island?
Alright, so it dawned on me that I talked a pretty healthy amount of shit when covering MPH64's Resident Evil point-and-click game. So I decided to give them a second chance to wow me with another one of their projects, Return to Sheena Island.
I wish I could
And
live
if they didn't do just that.
in
To be
40
fair, this is
bucks
still a very heavily
a month.
janky
Is that how you get
experience, but
from
it's really ambitious and impressive as well. Plus, you know,
Twitch?
the bar
That's
was
more than
always
I've
set.
ever had from them ever. I didn't get anything from them. What's Sheena Island? Is Sheena Island the island in Resident Evil?
Resident Evil Survivor with
Yeah, Resident Evil Survivor. This is what about was
Along
what I
the
was
way,
about
she
to say.
crosses paths with Art Thompson, and that's about
Really?
all the story there is to talk about here. Which I'll admit is a little disappointing.
They made
but
this
for a
guy
brief
canon?
30-minute affair,
Someone is trying to make this guy
I can
canon?
imagine.
What a stupid
The general
story.
Form and function, though, is a much more positive subject. Everything
I
you
would play
expect
this
from an
game,
RE
though.
Title can be found here.
I would
down
play
to
this
little
game.
Stuff like increment saves and inventory-based item combinations. Progress is handled really well with the expected survival horror style of incremental exploration, and the puzzles included were surprisingly true. to
Man,
the
Resident Evil
regular
Survivor
style,
was
something
bad.
Like I have said about
That game was
35,000
bad.
times in this video already. The only enemy type included are your typical zombies, which is perfectly fine for me because they're
5
my favorites
shots?
anyways. Shooting at these things feels about right for the series, and for the most part, running around them does too. And look, I know this is all pretty baseline stuff for a game like this, and not exactly something to go wild over, but there's a combination of factors to consider here. Obviously, my initial experience with this person's work wasn't exactly the best first impression you could
4,
imagine.
5, yeah.
but more
All zombies
importantly,
take
the
5
game
shots,
is
so
made from the
there's no,
ground-up community versus the approach
there's
most
no,
projects take, which is just
crits.
modifying an existing PC port of a Resident Evil game. So for a person who's recreating all of these systems by feel alone, I'd say this is actually a really impressive showing. The overall flow
Cool.
is spot on, and outside of a small bit of instability, things just operate in a way that makes it kind of hard to tell that this thing wasn't just another RE2 mod, at least in terms of functionality. Thanks to this
Well, guess
game's
what? You've
specific
got busy in work, and
combination of things that could never be done with most RE mods.
and me, I'm
For
actually
example, you've got this really cool
I'm a little bit busy, but I can nowadays I do have some time
Oh, and there's also the
to actually spare some time to play some video games.
widescreen
Is that a lady?
Sticking with that note,
A
Return to
poster of a
Sheena
lady
Island
showing
is
her,
an impressive little visual package. All of the RE2 assets are
showing her leg?
super shard. Super shard. They are super sharding. Let's try that again. All of these RE2 assets and models look super sharp at this high of a resolution, and the blood effects when shooting zombies are great. Even if sometimes they stop appearing. But hey, you don't know. Maybe the zombies have just run out of blood.
The naked woman portrait in Resident Evil. I played
And since we have
remake not too long ago, and there was a fat ass. I forgot that it exists.
Playthroughs. For example, at one point I let a few zombies.
I'm finally gonna
fall
get banned
just to
from
see what it
Twitch.
would look like, and when I finally died, I noticed a continue option. so I chose that, and instead of starting over at my last save, Ada's dead, lifeless body was just transported into the save room, which for all we know might just be some sort of meta real-life mechanic. Like if you died and somebody just took you to the last place you were when you were alive, you'd still be dead. Regardless, I couldn't move, hit start, or access any menus, which was kind of funny, but not as funny as
What's with
other
the
times
machine
when I
gun?
fell
What's
through the
with
floor of
that
the sewer
font?
and ended up somewhere out of bounds.
I paid $60 for this game.
We're
Oh,
not done with this.
check the
story
map.
yet, don't worry. So I restarted the game and loaded my save, which I guess was not a good idea because after I did that, I noticed my inventory icons were all completely different. My gun was no longer visible in my hand, and I couldn't interact with anything without the game locking up. Now the interesting thing was I would get the same
Oh,
result.
this game
every
is not
single
complete.
time I loaded
Which
that
Resident
save
Evil
file,
game that
so
you're talking
I
about?
guess that thing is just eternally corrupted, which, you know, isn't great, but
Asking
I was
for a
able to
friend,
get to
by the way.
end of the game on a second attempt, and even with those bugs in mind, I still had a great time with this one. I imagine it's not very easy recreating a bunch of familiar Resident Evil mechanics and systems all by hand, and I think MPH64 deserves a hell of
I don't
a lot of
remember
credit
it. I don't
for
think
doing
it's
as well
Resident
as they
Evil 2.
did. I mean, throughout my time with Return to Sheena Island, I couldn't shake the feeling that this
Although
could
it feels
totally
like
be
it
an
might be
official
Resident Evil
Capcom
2.
release,
It's
just
either
a
2
few
or 3.
minor
Resident Evil 2 or
changes.
3.
Progression worked exactly as expected, items were intelligently laid out, making exploration feel especially good, and I was supremely impressed by the puzzles. They weren't
Supremely.
the most challenging in the world, but each
That is,
one required a few different bits of info
a
to
unique
solve,
choice
and
of
getting those
words.
clues required a nice level of engagement with the exploration and backtracking. Honestly, this game punches way above its weight class, not only for how close it's able to get to that Resident Evil feel, but just in terms of delivering a really solid, if a little short,
1 and
survival
2?
horror experience.
1. Nude pictures in the Spencer Mansion?
Well, thanks so much for stopping by, fellow dorks and or nerds. If you made it to this point,
Did he
in the
just call me a
video, I
dork?
have to assume you've gotten some kind of value out of it, and if you want to help contribute to more videos just like this,
Alright, this guy
feel
has
free
a
to stop
lot of
by
videos
support
concerning.
platforms linked down below.
I don't care
On a
about
totally
that.
unrelated note, I am once again in the
Battlefield
process of
6?
cutting
Yeah,
away
sure.
at the moment, so if there's anyone watching.
This guy has some videos that really are, you know, good to watch. Some of them are old. This is the reason why I'm actually watching them. Like I don't feel good watching someone that just dropped like a new video and I'm just gonna like watch it, or doing what the React content creators do. Wonders Evil clones. So I'm only gonna check on his old videos. Post Trauma. This is a game that I actually wanted to play, by the way. Yeah, he needs a new AI voice. I'm gonna steal his one view from me. I mean, still. Obscure. Have you ever played this, by the way? Obscure? I did play it. I guess it wasn't anything special, but I think it was novel back in the day since it was a co-op, like a co-op, a horror game. Well, horror. Not really horror. It's not scary. All right, let's check this. Intro. I don't care about your intro. Baldy. School looks so ominous. Lost
Usually,
or
when I
late
put these
homework.
videos together, I already have a full list of games to include, but sometimes I've only got a few in mind, and I need to go out looking for more, which was the case with Okureta Shukudai, or late homework. And listen, that's not a flex. You just gotta understand, I so rarely come across game titles that include kanji I can actually read. Just Please give me.
Can you read this level? Aren't you learning Japanese? Aren't you a weeb?
Clones, because this one ended up being an amazingly memorable experience.
Oppai and Chin Chin? Ugh.
Released in October of last year, Late Homework completely flew under my radar. It was developed by Soda Raptor, which
Golden?
some of you guys might remember.
You got
from
a
the last
golden?
entry in
Whoa.
This video series where we talked about another one of his projects, Pathogen X. A very cool third-person shooter with obvious survival horror-inspired visual themes.
How is this survival horror with you being able to him and move this fast?
But their ability to churn out a product that felt refined and finished was still up in the air as far as I was concerned. Well, you can go ahead and consider that a settled matter, because despite its short runtime, Late Homework has an atmosphere, gameplay, puzzles, and an overall vibe that puts most modern horror titles to shame.
Is that so? What's with the cat head?
The story starts.
I'm not gonna
out
play
with
as a
the main
furry.
character Hanako describing how hard of a time she's been having in school lately. She complains about feeling out of it all the time and being a little foggy-headed, which has had a big effect on her grades, and explains why she's on this bus right now. Apparently, she forgot a bunch of her past due homework assignments at school, and this is a last chance sort of scenario to get her grades up high enough to pass. Outside of that, though, her main issue is that this school is the last place she'd prefer to be heading at this time of day, thanks to a bunch of her fellow students ending up on the news as missing person cases surge in the area. And of course, it doesn't help that there's been a rumor spreading around concerning some sort of an entity that roams the halls at night looking for souls to feast on.
It looks well made, though.
I'd love to dive into the story here because there's a lot more going on than meets the eye, but because the game's not all that long and one of the many factors that makes it so great is its story, I think I'll just leave the summary right there. We're a cat stuck in a creepy school at night, and there's a terrifying creature stalking the halls that wants nothing more than you. Except without your head. In terms of gameplay, Late Homework wastes absolutely no time in getting to work. Right as you gain control of Hanako, in the very first screen of the game, you'll come across an obvious sign that you're going to be.
You seem to be able to run
solving
fast.
your way through this mystery, which turns out to be a very accurate initial impression because this game is a dead serious dosage of survival horror goodness, except for the times when it isn't. Look, there's a lot here that does fall a bit outside the genre in my opinion, but it's surrounded by and weighed against so many other staple mechanics and systems that I've got no problem giving it a pass. And you know, here in the script, I actually wrote a note to myself reminding me to make up some sort of a school hall pass pun for that, but I can't. So
Oh, look at this map.
moving on. For example, we
Look at this map. Bro. An indie developer. You've been making fun of indie developers, thieves developer. This is something that even motherfucking people that get paid to make money cannot do. This particular fucking thing here. Having a map, a detailed map that shows you every step that you take, every door that you interact to. This is a door that I enter from both sides. It's locked. I can enter from one side. It's locked because of a key. It's locked because it's locked from the other side. This is a map that people should need to make. A lot of people don't know how to design maps and how to make it interactive, and this makes me irate. It's crazy that this is something that got introduced decades ago. And people still fail to make these. This is an indie developer that actually managed to make it. My neighbor just yelled at her kid as loud. So loud that even I cannot read that. I brushed my teeth and went to bed. French Canadians scream loud, huh? It's just a map from Silent Hill. This is not a map from Silent Hill. It's not a map from Silent Hill. Silent Hill made it. Silent Hill is the standard.
Staples like amazing fixed camera angles, tank control.
Silent Hill is the standard. A lot of people should learn from Silent Hill.
But tempering that, we've got no inventory.
Okay,
management,
just because
lack of limited or
he managed to show me this map, I'm
what I
actually
would call the biggest
I'm
defilement
actually
in
interested in this game now.
Like I've talked about before, I sort of feel
I'm
like
legit
survival
interested in
horror
this game
really
now.
needs to have
Late
combat
homework. I'm gonna
as
try
an
and
option.
I'm gonna try
The
and
goal is to not engage with it, or for the developer to disincentivize
and
it.
wishlist it to play it
Decision
later.
Or not to initiate an encounter makes up a lot of the ethos.
Although there is an
surrounding
indie game that I want to
Let's say
play,
in this case,
an
though,
indie horror
there's so
game.
much old PS1
It's called
survival horror
Signalis.
DNA included that
I might
even
play
I
that.
can't nitpick the particulars. Speaking of which, we have almost.
I think
everything
people like
of
it
this
because it has,
HD
like,
off of this thing. I mean, look at this
you
map
know,
screen. This
robot
was not
lesbians in it or
intentional,
something like
a
that.
lot of the later entries in that very series. Back to the actual gameplay, though, the general layout is one centrally located around the idea of tough but fun puzzle solving. At the start of the game, you don't have a direct way to get inside Fushigina High, but the few areas you do have access to will lead you straight into a few rooms filled with keys and adventure games.
Wait. So this game is Japanese? This game is Japanese. Why is everything look like it's actually Western? Like the portrait that looks like a portrait of someone that's Caucasian, and the and the banner there is like written in English. So
Direct way to get inside Fushigina High, but the few areas you do have access to.
This ain't
will lead you
Japan!
Into a few rooms filled with keys and adventure game style puzzles, which is the kind that poses.
You're in
some sort of
Florida!
Environmental roadblock.
Sarasota,
to find
Florida.
The right item to be used in the right place. Once you actually get inside the school, it's roughly the same format, but covering a much wider landscape, and there's a persistent stalker type of monster thrown in there for good measure. This horrific, pants-shittingly scary creature roams the halls of Fushigina, and it's a one-hit kill if it manages to catch you. On the plus side, you can run pretty fast, and there's a dedicated button for looking behind you, so it shouldn't be too hard to stay relatively safe after maybe 1 or 2 deaths. You're actually given
Reminds
3
me of,
lives to get through the game, which is a little strange for a title like this, but given the short
Shattered
nature of the
Memories,
homework and all
the Silent Hill game.
design decisions made in it,
which I think it was meh.
and I
People
have to
think
say, all
people
the
still think
puzzles
that's a
and
good game.
doors that you're going to come across inside the school are simply survival horror perfection. There's this really impressive balance being struck
It's ass.
between needing to think but not getting railroaded for the next 20 minutes while you scratch your head wondering what the developers.
It was supposed to be a remake or reimagining of
needing
the first Silent Hill game, and
note or paying attention to the environment to find a password, and at least for me, it was just the right level of challenge. I think the game's set up in a way that by the time you come across a key or an item, you probably already passed by the exact location you'll need it in, making it really easy to drop into a flow state while playing. Every inch of Fushigina High is this really intriguing puzzle box.
because I like to wank off a Wiimote. I played it on PlayStation 2.
A hellspawn demon walking the halls looking to decapitate.
Torkix, how's it going, brother? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. You comfortable? I'm chilling.
I've got to say, it's really the atmosphere and the mood of Late Home.
I'm chilling back in the background.
Long after I finished it, the dark environments, colored lighting.
I'm making dinner. It's actually ready.
They all feel like
Dinner is ready, so I thought might as well just finish this section before.
Form a complete picture of the kind of place you don't necessarily want to be in, but Oxymoronic
Before I wrap off.
Soothing in its scary unapproachableness. As you all know, I am an eternal supporter of the PS1 visual aesthetic, no matter how hard it gets played out in the indie scene. But outside of the amazing,
We're watching a video which
design, I think the sound
which
work is
recommends
really
games that
not just the music, even though it is great,
you know,
but the sound effects,
Resident
and
Evil clone
environmental
games.
ambiance too. Like Silent
And I think
Hill
this guy's
4
has dedicated
unexplained noises, like when you walk into
like
a
his channel is dedicated to games that to showcase any game that clones the Resident Evil games.
But I was more wowed with
Same,
the
you're
less
chilling?
obvious
Oh, good to
stuff.
know.
For example,
Welcome,
the distinct
welcome, welcome.
change from being
For chicken
outside
breasts
in the
and
almost overpowering rain, and then
broccoli
inside
lunch.
where getting near a window will give you a more
Broccoli?
mindful, soothing version of that.
I don't
same
think I have the
sound.
equipment to actually cook a broccoli. The only thing that I have is an air fryer. Can you make a
honestly, the entire package.
Can you
is just
saute
a
a broccoli in an air fryer? I don't think so.
Horror game and how to accurately strike a balance between a retro and
Yes.
technically impressive look. I am, however, obligated to at least.
Do you
give a
want me to
passing
burn
impression
down
of
my
which
house?
means we gotta talk about some
Want me to
downsides.
burn down my
I'm not
house?
mattering. And I'd say the first issue I ran into was that I couldn't get VSync working with the game. No matter what I set it to in the options, I kept getting screen tearing, which bothered the hell out of me. Now I think normally
Yeah, we
this wouldn't
started
be quite so bad, but
Resident Evil
because
0, by the way,
there's a lot of
Torkix.
small details on screen that can make the rolling tears a lot more visible than they may.
That's
have
fun.
been when set
I'm
against
enjoying
a
it.
pitch black sky or something like that. On the plus side,
I made eggs in an air
the
fryer?
GPU's control
It is
panel
possible.
was triple buffering
Yeah, that's not
VSync at
a
60 FPS, which solved the issue. After having the exact
That's
same
easy,
problem
but,
with a bunch of
you know,
other
need,
games on this list, though, I'm starting to think either I need to
You cannot
update my
saute
graphics drivers
on an
or
air
maybe it
fryer.
has something to do with me playing these on a 144 hertz monitor. Less annoying, but still kind of frustrating, was the fact that the mouse's cursor shows up.
I wish I had someone here, like I can actually get something and then I let them cook and just pay them
Small issue, but
for
I feel
kicking
like this
stuff for me.
little arrow sort of messes with the other.
But all of the restaurants around me, all of them are like fast food restaurants.
I think that's the only negatives I came away with. Late Homework was an absolutely incredible playthrough for me, and I could not be more happy that I felt
Yeah,
like
this
I
game
needed
looks
a few
good.
more titles to put in this
One of my
game
friends,
to make it complete. I mean, this is probably one of the
was a
easiest
private cook.
recommendations I've ever made on here before. It's pure crystallized survival horror in all the ways that count. It's cute as hell, has a surprise.
Does he know how to cook, actually?
And only costs $5 or $6. I mean, you could sit and think for days, and you probably couldn't dream up a more perfect scenario than
We
that.
actually we went to a gathering and we had someone let someone cook for us, and he actually was really
I'm really excited.
he was
to let you
really
guys
good.
know that today's video is sponsored
surprisingly.
by literally no one. To be totally honest with you guys, I'm not really big on the idea of brands paying me money to express opinions I may not legitimately hold. That being the case, if you enjoy what I do here on the channel, I would immensely appreciate a little bit of help doing it.
Shush. What's with the
When I
moaning?
started covering these new indie survival horror games, I made a bit of a soft rule for myself. While the series is titled RE Clones, there's a bit of hidden text in there that reads only classic RE. Of course, you could see that as further proof of my very public bias, but
I was so mad 2 weeks ago.
Think about it. If we brought in the scope to include
What's the reason
titles that
for
play
that?
like Resident Evil 4, this series would span most video games developed from like 2008 till the moment I finished speaking this sentence. That being said, I have heard a lot of buzz about the Killing Antidote, and I got to see it in action in a G-Man Lives video, so I figured what the hell, let's give it a shot.
And I gotta say as well that I think it's a weird creative choice that they made these shower cinematics go for like 4 hours.
What I guess you could call my journey with the Killing Antidote started off with its free demo. And after playing that for a bit, I walked away feeling a little underwhelmed. I mean, there was some really cool shooting, and I could see these ideas at some point getting solidified into something a lot more concrete, but
Nobody cares about games that plays like Resident Evil 4. Nobody cares about that. I heard the Dark Souls Artorias of the Abyss edition from Japan. It's at good condition. Mm-hmm. Did you get bamboozled? You all bought it? You all bought it? It arrived brand new? Give me that! Give me that copy! I need to play a goddamn Dark Souls. On which platform, though? I want it on PC. If you have it on PC, hook a brother up. Other than that, you can keep it. Hook a brother up. The sealed one was cheaper than the used one too. Yeah. Good find. Which platform though? PlayStation 3? Ugh. Yeah, keep it. I'll keep that. Console gaming. Ugh. Anywho, viewers, dinner is ready. It's time for me to bid you guys adieu. I'm not playing games on PC. Ew. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's streaming. I think I did play for an hour and like watched stuff for an hour and a half or something. I don't know. I didn't follow what I was doing, but this is gonna be it for me. Thank you for tuning in, Level. Torkic as well. Thank you for tuning in. Torkic's if you have a Discord. If you have a Discord, I do have a Discord server if people want to join me there and try to catch up later on. So feel free to ask me later so I can actually share the links for you guys. But for now, viewers, I'm going to have to bid you adieu. Thank you very, very much for watching. Tune in for more Resident Evil 0. And of course, going to be Dragon Quest later as well. Hopefully tomorrow. I might actually stream later. But no, I might not. Regardless, thank you for watching. Check you guys later. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.